Yes, Sridharji, you are live. You can start.
Fine.
Thank you.
I can start. Thank you. Good evening to all of you. On behalf of QLU Quantum Life University, I express my love and gratitude to Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi, our beautiful masters, and all our beautiful masters in QLU Sangha. Love and gratitude to all of you who have come to attend this program on a beautiful day, which is Raksha Bandhan. Happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. It's a beautiful day that is traditionally celebrated as one of our love for our siblings, our love, compassion, and friendship for our siblings. We wish each other well, and it's maybe no coincidence that it's coming on a day when we are talking of living in the heart, coming down from the head to the heart. So this evolution, the evolution fundamentals are constantly moving in the direction of Satyam, Shivam, and Sundaram. Life, creation, and this universe is moving in the direction of truth, auspiciousness, and beauty. And to know this, we need to experience this at an individual level. All of us, at an individual level, and also at a collective level, we seek love, joy, and bliss, which is expressed as Sat, Chit, Anand. Whatever we do, we might be a doctor, we might be an engineer, we might be a bank manager, we might be a housewife or a laborer, whatever be our profession, we might be a parent. All of us seek this simple sutra of living happily. And we'll talk about the three modes of living. How we live and how it influences us in this seeking journey. First is head-centric way of living. Here, thinking of the mind is ruling. And this is predominant all over the world. Majority of us are more in the head. The next way of being centered is in the heart. This is a feeling. We feel our feelings, and through our feelings, we interact with the environment we live in. Here, our heart is ruling. And then there is the third center, which is the being center. This is the navel center, which is connected to the existential or cosmic source. When we operate from this center, we are connected to existence. We can say we are connected to the universal consciousness. And then we get that experience, thou art that, tattvam asi. Let's look into how we have grown. If we want to experience Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. We already are experiencing it at an individual level, at a collective level. Let us understand how we have grown and how we grow. As an infant, as a toddler, we are totally heart-centered. We are 100% heart space. We operate right from the heart. The little child that is an infant, 1 year old, and the little toddler, maybe 2 years old or 3 years old, is full heart. The mind has not developed, and the heart is full of love. The interaction of the infant and toddler is through feelings. It feels our vibes. The child feels our vibes. And the child looks for attention and for our love. As we move on to preschool, school, adolescence, and adulthood, we develop the ego strength and mind to cope with our parents, to cope with our caretakers, to cope with society. And as this is happening, slowly, the heart space is replaced with more and more of mind space. And this is when, as the mind begins to develop, we develop the ego strength. The ego strength is needed for our survival. Among all the species in the universe, the human being is the only species where the human child is the most vulnerable species. All other species, whether it's dogs or animals or birds, their creation, when they are born, they are more or less independent. They can manage. Whereas the human child, during the first few years of its development and during ages up to 16 till we become an adolescent and an adult, we are dependent on our parents, on our teachers, on our caretakers. And that's where the mind is developed, and that's where the ego too is developed. Let's understand what ego is. Ego is identification and attachment with form. Could be physical, could be mental, could be emotional, upbringing, conditioning, roles. All these are types of forms to which our ego gets attached. The child attaches itself or identifies itself with her toys. She will say, it's my doll, it's my teddy bear, it's my mama, it's my daddy. And as the child grows in transition into an adult, this identification changes form. My doll becomes my school, becomes my friends, my car, my family, my ideas, my religion, my profession, my country, so on and so forth. When you take the case of the child is so strongly attached to the doll, you take away the doll, there is suffering in the child. The child feels as if you're taking away herself. And this attachment, this identification and attachment is the root cause of suffering. We laugh at the child, but we are no different. Stronger our identification and attachment to whatever form we have, the more we are vulnerable to attract suffering. Now, as the child grows, the most important needs the child are attention, time, love, and care. The child needs our nurturing care at a physical level, at a mental level, at an emotional level. And this is where parenting becomes an extremely important uh, aspect in our lives. So, to cope, to get the love and attention of our parents, of our guardians and teachers or caretakers, whomsoever they are, we adopt different kinds of defense mechanisms. Now, we don't get love, we try to please them by being a people pleaser, or being a rebel, or being a perfectionist, or being obedient, or being afraid to say no, being not authentic. And one of the major challenges the child faces with majority of people, we are loved, the child is loved for what the child does and not what the child is. And the impact of early psychic impressions and associations. So depending on our environment and upbringing at physical, mental, and emotional levels, all these childhood psychic impressions become the very foundation of who we are. The childhood period is possibly one of the most important periods of our entire life. And during this period, every child is born an angel, but one child becomes somebody like a Hitler. One child, somebody becomes like a terrorist. Another child becomes like a Buddha. And it's because Hitler is one of those examples where he was abused physically, mentally, emotionally by his father, who was a bastard child of a Jewish landlord. That trauma that Hitler underwent made him develop so many defense mechanisms, and he took that revenge on millions and millions of people in the world. And the same is the story with all the people who go in the wrong direction. Many of us carry these wounds, which influences our behavior, which influences our growth, which influences the way we are. And these wounds are frozen emotions. And if they are not healed, they create blocks within our entire energy system. There are 7 chakras, energy centers in our body. Each chakra is associated with a particular type of well-being. The Muladhara Chakra is the first chakra, which is located at the root of the spine, is responsible for our physical well-being. Fear and insecurity blocks the Muladhara Chakra. That fear remains. It could be a fear of abandonment. It could be a fear of failure. It could be a fear of not being good enough. So many fears which we inculcate or beyond our in a helpless state are there as frozen emotions. And if they are not healed, they impact our life in a big way. The second chakra is the sacral chakra, which is responsible for our creativity, for our sexuality and sensuality. Guilt blocks our sacral chakra. Likewise, the solar plexus is responsible for our willpower and self-esteem. And shame blocks our solar plexus. So when these frozen emotions are there within our system, we pay a price at a physical level, at a mental level, at an emotional level. The heart chakra is responsible for love and compassion, sadness, grief, jealousy, conflicts. These block our heart chakra. Next is a Vishuddhi Chakra, which is located near our throat. And this is responsible for our communication and our expression, our ability to express without fear the truth. And what blocks the Vishuddhi Chakra is the inability to say the truth. Lies block the Vishuddhi Chakra. The sixth chakra is our Agya Chakra. It is located between the two eyebrows and is responsible for clarity, responsible for clairvoyance. Illusion about ourselves, illusion about everything blocks the Agya Chakra. Lastly, the Sahasrara Chakra, which is there right at the top of our head. This chakra is responsible for wisdom and connects us to the cosmic energy. Ego blocks the Sahasrara Chakra. So all these wounds, frozen wounds during childhood, needs to be acknowledged, needs to be healed, without which we pay a price. They influence our way of behavior, our growth in life, both in the world and at an internal level. Pavlov was a very famous Russian psychologist. And he did some very beautiful, interesting experiments with dogs. He one day found out that when his assistant was bringing food to the dog would open its tongue and saliva would be flowing out of the tongue. And every time the assistant came with food, every time this happened. So he decided to do an experiment. And what he did, he would keep food with the dog at a particular time, and he would note down the saliva coming out. Along with the food, after a few days, he kept ringing a bell at the same time. So for 15 days, he did that. A bell will ring, the food will be there, the dog will start salivating. On the 16th day, he stopped the food. The bell was ringing, and interestingly, he found that saliva continued to run. And this is conditioning. And according to Pavlov, our life is a conditioning or a conditioned reflex. And our mind is a conditioning or a conditioned reflex. Conditionings are the locks of our mind space. I'll give you a simple example. When I was 7, 8 years old, I had this chicken pox, and it was an awful form of sickness. You had all those eruptions on the skin, and I was kind of isolated from the rest of the family. And at that point of time, it went on for about almost 3 weeks. At that point of time, I used to be given coconut water because that would cool the system. And every day coconut water, once or twice or maybe even 3 times. And I became really distasteful of this coconut water. It was a conditioning. So after I recovered from my sickness, anybody bringing me coconut water, I will say, no, I don't want your coconut water. I just don't want it. I had associated coconut water with my sickness. And for years, I could not drink coconut water at all. One day, by some chance, maybe water was not there. I drank a little. I didn't find it so bad. And slowly, I could get out of that conditioning. I deconditioned myself out of my disgust to the coconut water. Likewise, we are conditioned in many ways in our life. Conditioning patterns. And these are reflected in how we behave, how we interact, how we react. And this also, Pavlov's experiment is a very beautiful, aspect is he brings 2 thought processes at the same time together. If one is there, it will trigger the other. And one of the biggest conditioning is thinking. Thinking is always there with breathing. We don't realize that. As we breathe in and breathe out, most of the time we are not even conscious of it. But when we breathe in and when we breathe out, we are thinking in and thinking out. When we stop breathing, thinking also stops. And that is the reason why Anapanasati Yoga or Vipassana is one of the best or one of the easiest forms of meditation. Now, what is meditation? Meditation is just being watchful. Watchful of the breath coming in. At least the Anapanasati meditation is being watchful of the breath coming in, being watchful of the gap, being watchful of the breath going out, and being watchful of the gap before the breath comes in. When we start being watchful, our thoughts come down. When we start being watchful, we become aware, we become alert to our conditionings of the mind. So it is meditation, which is a wonderful key that locks this unconditioning. This locks this conditioning of our mind. So we talked about how the mind developed, how the mind is conditioned. Now, let's come down and see our heart center. Our heart center is our emotional and feeling space. All healers would say this: if you can feel it, you can heal it. And if you can't feel it, you can't heal it. The heart chakra is located at our heart center. And this is the center which connects our lower 3 chakras to our top 3 chakras. This is also the center which connects us to our subconscious. You said that love is God and God is love. True beauty always vibes with the heart. You're sitting in front of a beautiful sunset. You feel the awe. You feel the spaciousness. You're rooted in the moment. You merge with the moment. Like that, your heart vibes with the beauty that surrounds us. And there is beauty surrounding us. There is love surrounding us. You look at a small child. You play with a small child. Your heart will start vibrating with love. Only the heart knows love. Only the heart knows forgiveness. Only the heart knows healing. The heart center is our center for love and compassion. Now let's compare the heart center versus the head center. We need both. Just a comparison. We take the head center. The head or the mind divides, it reasons, it analyzes. The head center is logical, manipulative, calculative. And always the head center is based on doubt and negation. Look at the heart center. The heart is warm, it's not calculative. It feels its way through. It heals and integrates. It sees everything as a unity. It does not divide. And the heart is authentic. The heart is trusting. If you notice, you can trust totally more easily than you can doubt totally. The heart center is always present in the here and now. When your heart center is active, you'll be present to the moment, to whatever is happening in this space of here and now. And the heart center is based on love, faith, and surrender. We need both. We need a balance of both. When we are tilted only in the head, when we are anchored only in the head, we miss a major growth in our life. This is a very beautiful quote by Jesus, who said, unless you turn and become like children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. So somebody had asked Jesus, who would enter his kingdom of God or kingdom of heaven? He replied that you have to be like children. What he really meant was you have to be childlike, you have to be loving, you have to be playful, you have to be spontaneous and in the moment. And by the kingdom of heaven, he means the dimension of spaciousness. There is the dimension of spaciousness within us. We always identify ourselves with the form, but there is a formless within. And when we identify ourselves with that formlessness, we enter the kingdom of heaven. So this is a very typical heart-centric approach. Jesus has said, love is God. God is love. And this is another very beautiful quote by Martin Luther King. He says, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do an amazing quote. And in our 5,000 years of civilization, there have been 3,000 plus, more than 3,000 wars. Wars based on religion, based on caste, based on color, for land, for possession, for whatnot. And this has been our experience, because the head would continue to seek justice, would continue to seek revenge. And it is continuing, and we continue to suffer. On the other hand, the heart seeks peace, the heart seeks harmony. When there is peace within, there will be peace without. That is the way of the heart. So I have one last quote. We live predominantly in the head. The head has its place. But being too much on the head has caused us too much of suffering. So Osho's quote says it all. He says, get out of your head and get into your heart. Think less, feel more. The more we are able to feel ourselves, the more we will be able to heal ourselves. So, yes, with this, I come to a sorry. Yeah. So if there are any questions, that will be fine. I can be happy to answer any of these questions. Or we can go into a quick meditation. And I will let me just see. Give me a minute. I'll just want to play. Yeah. We'll now go into a very simple meditation. Sit in a very comfortable posture and close your eyes. Take a few deep breaths. And with every breath, feel the healing energy. With every breath you exhale, feel all the tension, all the stress and anxiety leaving you. So simple, long and deep breathing. Breathe in through the nose, hold for a few seconds, and breathe out through the mouth. Every breath you breathe in, feel you're getting healed and energized. And with every breath you let go, feel you let go all the tension, all the stress, all the strain and anxiety, making you more and more relaxed. Focus your attention on the top of your head and feel the top of your head is getting relaxed. Allow this relaxation to flow down your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyes, your nose, your cheeks, your ears, your lips, your chin, and your neck. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel your entire face and your neck fully relaxed. Allow this relaxation to flow down your left shoulder, left arm, elbow, wrist, hand and fingers. And feel your entire left hand is fully relaxed. Allow this relaxation to flow down your right shoulder, your right arm, elbows, hand, wrist, and fingers. And feel your entire right hand fully relaxed. Enjoy this relaxation. Be with this relaxation. Allow the relaxation now to flow down your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, and your buttocks. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel Your entire back fully relaxed. Allow the relaxation now to flow down from your neck, down your upper chest, your heart, your stomach, and your abdomen. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel your entire front part of the body fully relaxed. Enjoy this relaxation. Be with this relaxation. Now allow this relaxation to flow down your thighs, your kneecap, your calf muscles, your ankles, the soles of your feet, and the toes of your feet. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel both your legs beautifully relaxed. As you breathe in and breathe out, feel your entire body, right from the top of the head to the tips of your toes, fully relaxed. Every part of your body, every organ, every tissue, every nerve and fiber are nicely, beautifully relaxed. Just be with this relaxation. In this very relaxed state of silence, in this very relaxed state of awareness, breathe your normal, relaxed, effortless breathing. If it is shallow, it is fine. If it is deep, it is fine. Just let it be your normal, natural, effortless, and relaxed breathing. In this very relaxed state of silence, of awareness, watch your flow of breath. Watch the entire process of breath flowing in. Watch the small gap. Watch the entire process of breath flowing out. Watch the small gap before breath flows in again. Keep watching this cycle of in-breath and out-breath with the gaps in between. Meditation is a process of being in the present moment of here and now. Meditation is being watchful to the flow of breath. In breath, out breath, and the gaps. Meditation is just being yourself. Just be. There is nothing to do and nowhere to go. Just watch your breath come and go. 3 more minutes. Few more moments. And as I count 1 to 3, you'll come back to the present moment, fully refreshed, fully recharged, fully re-energized, with all the love, all the joy, and all the awareness that you are. 1, feel yourself back to the comfort of your room. 2, feel yourself touching the chair or the ground. 3, before opening your eyes, gently place your hands on your eyes. Be grateful for these beautiful moments of meditation. And whenever you're ready, very gently, with a smile, you may come back to the present moment. So thank you very much. I have just one question here. A lot of good evenings. Good evening to all of you, my dear friends. Thank you for joining. Namaste, my friend David. Good evening, Sarji. And there is this question from Rushali Parkale. How do we recondition according to you, sir? Yes. First is to be aware of the conditioning we are into. And as we meditate, as we become more and more watchful, we will know the patterns, we will know the conditioning of our mind. The moment you are watchful, you will know what to do. And if there are certain patterns of anger, look into what is triggering that emotion. Anger or jealousy or irritation or disturbance. Look, watch, what is it that is triggering that event? What is the story? And look deeper into the story. What is the story behind that story? What is the story behind that story? It will eventually lead you to a past where you might have frozen an emotional wound. And the moment you are able to relive that, you will be able to relieve that. There are other ways of deconditioning or reconditioning is old emotional bonds needs a reparenting of our inner child. Like I gave you my example, I had taken a distaste to coconut water because of my sickness. But over a period of time, I realized that actually it's not so bad. And I could see the connect. I was associating it with an old sickness. But the moment I realized that it is a mental association, I could drop it and I could move on. So some of these earlier wounds may not be so easy, but if you watch, you can go to the root cause of what happened or what caused that event. And if you can understand the root cause, you can relieve yourself or release that wound. And that will be a very beautiful defining moment for you. It will be a very transformative moment for you. So I hope I have answered your question. This is not a Zoom session where I can see you. So I don't see any other questions other than greetings. So once again, thank you for joining this session, and love and gratitude to all of you. Love and gratitude to all our masters, Dr. Newton, Dr. Lakshmi, and all the masters of our QLU Sangha. I wish you love, I wish you joy, I wish you the best of everything. Thank you very much. Good day.